October is such a beautiful time of the year. It's that magical space where the summer is over but the autumn hasn't quite yet taken hold. When the sunlight becomes that brilliant deep gold but the Christmas in the mornings threatens to bring the first frosts, well, this is when I begin to feel alive. Everything in nature just feels so abundant right now. In the distance, there is the constant hum of harvesters working hard to bring in the crops for the winter. And here at home, we're picking our first produce too. It is small beginnings, but everywhere we look, there is the promise of plenty more yet to come. So the autumn has started to really come in cold these last couple of days. The rains have hit and it's definitely cardigan weather. I have been really busy this last year, essentially working 3 jobs. Now I am self-employed. For any of you who have watched any of my more recent videos, you'll know that I've been putting in some hours at the local garden centre. When I first applied for the job there, I applied for 1 to 2 days a week, but within a week I was working 7 days a week, so that kept me really quite busy for quite a long time. However, after the first few months, my hours started to be cut back and back because the boss had other plans. Having those hours cut back has given me a lot of opportunity to explore my creative business. I am aware just how fortunate I am to have been able to explore doing something I love for a living. I've run my business for the last 6 years, I think, and it is something I absolutely love. I love it. I always saw myself sticking with it forever. And to be honest, I still kind of do. But the problem is, for the last 3 years, I have been absolutely, completely and utterly lacking in inspiration. This isn't just a small issue with inspiration for me. Long story short, about 3 years ago, back when this all started, I had a huge custom order. It was the biggest custom order I've ever had, actually. And it was exactly what I needed at the time. And I took this custom order on. This particular client wanted, it was either 20 or 25 custom made pieces in sterling silver with these beautiful prehistoric arrowhead stones. Really lovely. But because I was essentially brand new in the business, or in the world of business, I didn't get my terms and conditions down on paper. It was an understanding between sort of friendly acquaintances, and I trusted that everything was going to be alright. So basically, everything was going smoothly, and then about 2/3 of the way through the commission, he pulled out. We settled where we stood with each other, and that was that, until about a year later when he did a 180. You see, the problem was, I had been making these pieces at cost, making 0 profit because he intended to sell them on. And as I said, this was a favour between friendly acquaintances. I can only assume that he wasn't able to sell them on for whatever reason, but whatever the case was, I ended up out of pocket twice over. and it ate up my entire takings for that year. Every single penny I had made, gone. Naturally, I was absolutely devastated. I was a single mum running my own business, but to lose my entire takings for the year really hit me hard. So this has left me with a bit of a dilemma. It's one thing to lose your inspiration temporarily in a creative business. Inspiration can always be found again, can always be brought back into the equation somehow. I don't know if any of you out there have ever had something in your life that you're really, really passionate about, and then somebody comes in and stamps all over it. You don't just lose the motivation to be there, to show up for it. You lose the heart for it. This is something that I spent years building. This is what has provided for me, for my daughter, for our household. And when your heart is no longer in what you're creating, it really, really shows. So I've modelled on for about 3 years, playing with designs at my bench, taking on occasional custom orders as and when they arise, and I've really, really enjoyed those. But the creativity just won't flow, and it has ground to a rather uncomfortable halt. I still love what I do. I recently invested all of my life savings into getting the business back up off the ground, back up onto its feet again. And yet, there are dozens and dozens of people out there offering tips and hints and advice for when you lose inspiration. But as I've said, this isn't your standard case. It's really, really easy to say, well, come on, it's been 3 years, get over yourself, get over it, move on, move forward. And I have, within myself. This experience with this particular client has formed this sort of creative block within the sphere of my silversmithing business that I've simply not been able to move past. It might be helpful to spend some time away from my business and spend some time doing something else that's creative, something else that I love, and I've been doing just that. And I've spent the best part of 1.5 years away from the business at the moment, actually. While working in the garden centre and on a couple of other bits and pieces, self-employed, and that's all been very helpful. So I guess what I'm wondering is, what would you do? I've been thinking about changing the direction of my business for quite some time, but I wouldn't know what direction to steer it in, because it's always been silversmithing, it's always been jewellery, it's always been about creating something out of these marvels of nature. How would you move past that creative block? How would you do it? If you were in my situation, what would you do? I would love to hear your thoughts. I would really, really love to hear your thoughts.